about what did bring you back to fighting? Because, I mean, it would seem to be a heck of a lot easier way to make a living, to do it in Hollywood than have to get in the cage.
I really don't feel like I was brought back, or I don't feel like I ever left. I just took a short break and went to Dancing with the Stars. A lot of other fighters have bigger layoffs than I do, and they don't even get to do an experience like that or a huge blessing like that. So I just feel like Dancing with the Stars hopefully brought a few new fans over, and they'll come watch me fight on Saturday.
What did it do as far as the trajectory of your career moving forward? Because it seems like as fighters get bigger, they want to cross over, but then we talk about them losing focus on fighting. What got in there? So, what do you think? Do you want to incorporate that into your career, or is it more about the fighting?
I definitely do. I mean, it is all about the fighting, but also I want to be successful at absolutely any opportunity that comes my way. I have these huge opportunities coming, and I want to take advantage of those. I mean, I'm a fighter, but I'm also a dancer. I'm also an actress. I have all these other attributes that I want to take advantage of, and I feel like I'm going to get the opportunity to do that because of the UFC, but I'm not going to leave.
Does it feel weird that that's the narrative of, like, here's Paige finally coming back when it's only been 9 months since your fight?
It is.
It
that
was just one break.
I feel like that's the weirdest thing is people are like, oh, you're coming back. It's so surprising. It's so shocking. Why are you coming back? I'm like, well, I didn't leave, and I never planned on leaving. And no one's asking Antonio Brown why he left the Steelers. It's just like, oh, cool, he was on Dancing with the Stars. So it's a funny thing, but I'm happy I'm back.
But it is still the longest layoff you've had in your career, like in terms of break between fights.
That's not true.
Is it not?
No, I actually.
Oh, it was. At least
no, I've had an 18-month layoff.
Oh, right. Well, okay.
Mike, mine. Talk about the matchup itself with Beck. I mean, what do you think about her as an opponent?
It's a great opponent, great matchup. I'm really excited. She's really tough. This definitely has fight of the night potential, and I like those kind of fights. I get in there and I try to put those on every time I fight. I want to put a show on for everybody, and I'm a real fighter, so I like to get in there and get really tough. So a great test for me, but I'm excited.
Were you still training during the time off? Because obviously these are very informative years in terms of your development and as a fighter. Do you feel like you've improved a lot during this break?
I definitely have. I've definitely improved. I work on a lot of technique, and the thing with combat sports is when you don't give yourself those breaks, you're constantly putting wear and tear on your body. Luckily, I'm very young, and I can recover and bounce back quickly, but having the few months off on Dancing with the Stars, I was able to heal all those minor injuries that I was pushing through each fight camp with, and now I didn't have to deal with those.
Everybody sort of frames you as tough and still getting there. You've done it yourself in the octagon. Do you feel like you're taking those steps and getting to be more of a technical fighter, and it's not just tenacity anymore? Now there's skills to back it up.
I definitely do. I feel like I'm getting there, but I'll never feel 100% because you can't ever feel like you're the best one out there because there's always going to be somebody that's working harder than you, that wants it more than you, and you have to have that mindset to keep improving.
You're obviously a young fighter, trying to work your way up the ranks, the pay scale and everything. What was your reaction when you saw Conor McGregor got $3 million disclosed money for his fight at UFC 202?
Good for him. I mean, hopefully that means us other fighters are going to get a little bit bigger paychecks. Definitely going through Dancing with the Stars, I got to see how much other athletes out there make, and I was like, hey, I don't make that much money. But no, I'm so blessed to be a part of the UFC. They pay me better than any other job I've had, so I feel blessed.
Did you watch that fight at UFC 202? With Diaz and McGregor?
I wasn't able to watch it. I was running on the treadmill. I heard it was great, though.
You're a decorated fighter. A lot of your opponents and critics in general come down on you for your looks. How does that feel as a fighter?
I think it's super weird. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. That's it. It's weird.
What challenges does Beck bring to you that maybe you haven't faced? Because obviously you still only have a handful of fights. What's new here that you haven't seen?
I think the thing that I have to worry about with Beck is she's not going to mentally break. I do think she's very, very tough, and she's used to going to war, whereas some of the other girls that I fought, I will say, at a certain point in the fight, I could feel them break, and I knew I had the fight won if I kept pushing the pace the way I did. So I know I have to continue to push the pace, be as tough as I can, but I can't rely on her breaking.
Yeah, and we did see her earlier, and the size difference does feel a bit noticeable. She's been very vocal about if there was a 125 class, she'd want to be there. Is that something that you've had to prepare for, of her being the bigger fighter?
No, if there was 125 class, I might go up too. So, no, I don't think that's going to be an issue. I fought really big fighters. Felice Herrig was definitely a bigger opponent than me on some of my fights that weren't with the UFC. I've fought people that were much, much bigger than me. So, it's something I train with all guys that are fighting in the 125 division, so it's not something that I don't have to change anything for my camp.
Felice has been very vocal lately about your fight and how she wants a rematch with you and how she was like at a bad spot in her life and everything. What do you make of all that? Does it just sound like excuses? Is that a fight you would entertain again?
I would say that before every fight, you're going to go through trials and tribulations. You're still living life, and everyone's going to have things that they go through. But right now, I'm strictly focused on beating Beck, and then after I beat her, then I'll decide who I want next.
Coming off Dancing with the Stars, you said you missed the violence, you missed the action. Was it oddly nice to get punched in the face again the first day back?
It was oddly nice punching somebody punching someone, yeah.